So, okay, everybody, good morning. Welcome to our Get More Transactions Mastermind training every Tuesday. We do this. If you are a guest with us, welcome. This is open every week to all agents, all companies, anywhere. So we love having you. The more agents, the better. We can all learn from each other. If you've got something you want to comment on along the way here, you can put a question in the chat. There'll be places along the way with Jim where you can ask questions, whatever. This will be, pretty interactive as you guys want to make it. Okay. So, I know right now we're all wanting more leads. Whatever. It's a challenging market. I know, Jim, we were talking before everybody got on here, just seeing production numbers. They're definitely, they're a lot of agents taking some hits right now, in everything. So, but there's lots of ways through it. A lot of us have been around a while. I've been doing this for 21 years. So, I'm in Colorado Springs. Kathy, you've been 23 years, 24 years now.
24 years.
24 back there in Nashville.
7. Mm-hmm.
There you go. Jim, to open your mic up, Jim, how long you been in the business? You and Stacey?
Stacey started selling in 97. I joined her in 2000. So between us, we have, I think, 59 years of real estate experience between two. It's getting ready to be the big 6-0, our real estate business, I guess, when you combine the two of us.
There you go.
Nice.
That's the gray hair right there.
Yeah. I'm just glad I still have it. It's hanging in there.
Exactly. So anyway, how many times have you iconed here with EXP?
So we're getting ready to knock out our 5th icon right now.
Fifth icon.
All 5 years we've been here. We have until September to hit, but Stacey will knock it out here in April.
Okay. And if you're not with EXP, guys, it's a high rank of it's production. There's a lot of rewards for that, different things, but these are the top agents. So we got several icons on here. Jim and his wife hitting it now for the 5th time. So congratulations on that. Jim, I'm going to turn it over to you. Go ahead, and you're back there in Ohio, and you're still doing some big things. So looking forward to this. Go ahead.
Well, congratulations for everybody jumping on here. And I wanted to say thanks to Jeff and Kathy for pouring into everyone. One of the great parts about our company is the fact that you have the top people in the company giving away their secrets. And I don't know, when I was with the other big box franchise companies before, the top agents never gave away anything. They didn't want to tell you because they viewed you when you came in, right? They tell you just a little bit, hey kid, go get the phone book and start calling. I'm talking back in the 90s, right? Back in the days before the internet. And they didn't want to tell you what
Jim, you got muted.
Jim, you got muted.
Unmute yourself.
I wanted to say that I'm unmuted now.
Sorry.
I want to say congratulations to everyone being here, because, this text message and this email went out to a lot of agents, but they're not here. You are. So I'm going to bring the heat today for you. I'm going to bring some value, and I'm going to make it worth your time, right? I was in the military for 12 years, and I believe start on time, end on time. So I'm going to rock and roll on this. What I'm going to do is kind of keep an eye on the chat box. If you have a question, throw it in the chat. I will open it up to Q&A at the end where people can just rapid fire whatever they got. But if something comes to mind, throw it in the chat. We'll circle back to it if I don't already have it that I want to talk about. So first thing I want to do is I want to let you know, Stacey and I have been selling real estate since 1997. Last year, we did 58 transactions out of Columbus, Ohio, 16 million in sales. We've got a great organization of 139 agents that run across 19 different states here in the United States. So we're super excited for that and pouring into them. Some of them are on here, and so are you. So today I want to teach you how to generate leads on a budget. But before I do that, I've got to ask your permission. And that's this. Is it okay with you if I'm real with you? And when I mean real, is it okay if I tell you the hard facts? If I tell you the stuff that you might feel like you're getting punched in the mouth, is that okay? If that's okay, raise your hand in the reactions or something like that. And if you're driving, don't do that. I don't want to cause an accident. I'm going to assume that if you stay on here right now and you don't dump off, you gave me implied permission to tell you like it is. Because here's what I learned about being in the military and being an athlete is sometimes you got to get punched in the mouth. It's okay to get a hug afterwards, but sometimes you need to be told the hard facts and the hard truths. And here's the hard facts and the hard truths. The real estate market's shifting. It is. And some will say it's even already shifted. It has, but it's even going to shift even more. Inflation numbers are going to be going up. Look, your real estate business is going to have to grow just to keep up with what's happening with inflation. Okay, that's the bad news. Some of you are on the West Coast are like, what the heck's this guy doom and glooming me here at 8 a.m.? I'm going to tell you the good news. Here's the good news. In times of market recessions, we'll use the R word, right? In real estate. The great news about this is not 2008, because In 2008, real estate caused the recession. This one is going to be other market forces. We printed way too much money during the pandemic. And so we're going to have a recession, but it's not being caused by real estate. And fortunately, we're not going to feel the pain in our industry that we felt in others. But what you need to know is this, and here's the hard truth. If you do in 2023 the same activities you did in 2022, your business is going to take a 30 to 40% hit. What does that mean? That means if you did 50 transactions in 2022 and you do the same lead generation activities in 2023, you're going to get about 35 deals. Ooh, that hurts, right? If you made 100 grand in 2022, you're going to make 70,000 in 2023, and inflation is eating up that 70,000, so you're going to be taking a hit. More bad news, right? But here's the great news. In times of recessions, there are agents who don't just survive, they actually thrive. They will actually gain market share, create scalability and leverage in their business. So when the pendulum comes back the other way, they are light years ahead of everyone else. Here's the reality and the hard truth. The last 10 years of real estate has been a cakewalk. It has. If you've gotten licensed in the last 10 years, congratulations. It was awesome, but that was not a true real estate market. That's not real. I can tell you with Jeff and Kathy being on here for a couple of decades each in business, we've seen 3 of these recessions or crashes, if you want to call them, or corrections, however you want to phrase it. We've seen 3 in our careers. And you guys are now getting ready to see your first one in a decade that we've had. And here's the great news. You can gain market share. I'm going to show you today how to do it by generating leads, but we need to generate them on a budget. Why is that? Because here's what happens to most agents. Here's what happens. The leads you generate today, the activities you do today, pay you 90 to 120 days from now. So here's what happens. Agents don't know their numbers. They don't realize what's going on. All of a sudden, like, oh my gosh, I'm missing a couple closings here. So what do most of them do? They get rid of all of their paid lead generation sources. You know what I'm talking about, right? The little paid stuff you have going on, SEO, pay-per-click stuff, all that stuff where you had a robot before generating leads for you, paying Zillow. We spit in our house if you say the Z word in our house. So I had to do that. But, things like that, right? So now you got to get back to the basics. You got to learn how to lead generate again. And here's the great thing. Once I help you develop this muscle and create this on a budget, we have a saying, and that's this: he or she who has the leads has all the power in real estate. If you don't believe me, just ask Zillow or realtor.com. Just ask them. They have the leads, they have the power, and they have the money. And I'm going to show you today how to build your own business on that. And we're going to get into it. So you ready with that? Then let's do it. So here's the thing. Most agents start cutting back on their spending. It creates a negative feedback loop, because here's what happens. They're like, oh my gosh, I don't have the money now because I got to pay my bills with these closings. They stop paying for lead generation stuff. And oh my gosh, now they have less closings, and boom, 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 they go down. Here's a great book that any of you could read that is a real quick read. It's called Who Moved My Cheese? Who Moved My Cheese? If Jeff or Kathy wants to type that in the box down there. Who Moved My Cheese is basically talks about this. It talks about rats in a maze. And these rats, they were fed every single day at the same time, the same amount every single day, this cheese. And these rats learned to come to this place to get their cheese. It was easy life. They would show up, the food's there, they would eat it, and they would go do whatever they wanted to do every single day. And then all of a sudden, one day, the experiment, the person on it, stopped putting the cheese there. The cheese was gone, right? And they moved the cheese to a different part of the maze. Here's what happened. 3 different types of rats. One type of rat kept coming back, and they just kept coming back, and it wasn't there, and they were sad, and they would walk away. Those rats died of starvation. Some of the other rats, they said, oh my gosh, the cheese isn't here. They went out and started venturing and looking for the cheese. They went through the maze, and they found the cheese in another part of the maze, and they went and continued on with their life. The third type of rat was the one that sat there, and they kept coming back, and then when they were finally starving to death, they said, I better go look for some. And they went and tried to wait through the maze, and they died on the way trying to find the cheese. So we don't want you guys to be dead rats. We want you guys to be the ones who are going to go out and going to make the money. So let's get into it. So we know what's happening. The agent count is climbing, but the transactions are leveling off. So there's going to be more agents coming in, but the same, or maybe even a little dip in the number of transactions that are happening. So what does that mean? The pie is getting divided up into more pieces. Okay, so there's less for everybody, but that's not how it ends up playing out. It doesn't get divided equally. What's going to happen is there's going to be agents who get what I call their unfair share. You know who those agents are going to be? It's going to be Kathy Carter. It's going to be Jeff Morrell. It's going to be me. It's going to be some of you other ballers I see on here that I see on all the mastermind stuff. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to get our unfair share of that. So what's that mean? The rest of the agents who aren't doing what, congratulations, all of you are doing here, is learning new skills. They're going to be fighting over a smaller and smaller pie. Okay. So we're not going to let that happen to you. Keep in mind, all lead generation activities pay you out 90 to 120 days. Here's the reality. Everything I'm going to teach today, which I encourage you to take notes, any one of you can do. The reality of this is this. Not all of you will. That's the tough stuff. That's the punch in the mouth right there. Not all of you are going to do it, which means not all of you will make it, unfortunately, but all of you can. That's the great news. So let's get into this. First thing you have to do is you've got to have written goals. Now, some of you are going, wait a minute, this guy was talking about lead generation. Yes. To lead generate and know the activities we need to do, we need to start with the end in mind. What is your goal? I can do an entire training on goal setting. I'm not going to do it. Here's the thing you need to have. Your goals need to be written on your mirror. They need to be smart, measurable, attainable, results-oriented, and time-bound. They're called SMART goals. If you want to look it up, I've got a training on my YouTube channel. You can go there. It's just under Jim Lambright. You can go look me up and watch that. So I'm not going to get into it, but you got to have the goals. How many deals do you want to do? I'm going to use the number 50 today as the example. The reason I do 50 is because that's one a week. Consider you're going to take a 2-week vacation. Okay. So one deal a week over the entire year, that's 50 transactions. Okay. So let's say that's your goal, right? You got that on your mirror and you got the activities. Now here's where most agents screw up the goal setting. They don't have the activities in place to drive you to the goal. Any goal that doesn't have specific activities, which you're going to hear me call the grind activities, is just a dream. It's a wish. It's not really a true goal. So we're going to talk about that. So you got to have your goals set first. Okay. The second thing you've got to do is we got to have your mindset right. Now, this isn't going to be a mindset training. I could do an entire hour talking about mindset, but it is the most important thing, personal growth of you, yourself, mindset. You've got to be working on it every day. Now, why is that? Because you're probably thinking, well, tell me the website, tell me the thing, show me the shiny gadget. What are you talking about, right? That little voice inside your head who's saying, what the hell is this guy talking about, right? The mindset you have to have, the personal growth you have to have is to control that little voice inside your head. And it has to be intentional. See, you are the brand of your real estate company. You have to work on you. With real estate, you've got to spend as much time working on your business as you do working in your business. There is a clear distinction between the two. Working in your business is the showings, the listing appointments, putting the signs in the yard, writing the contracts, negotiating the offers, following up with clients. That's working in the business. What most of us forget when things start to get busy, which right now, by the way, I just read this last night, April 16th to April 22nd is the busiest real estate week of the year. More transactions are written this week than any week out of the year, according to some NAR stat. Pretty cool. I didn't know that. I learned that last night when I was reading that. So it's a big week. So congratulations, you're getting on here. We're going to go with that. So it has to be intentional. Your personal growth. A lot of you are probably thinking, oh, I'm good. I'm straight. My life is set. I'm good working on myself physically, and I have a good family life, and I go to church and things like that. That can be a really big mistake. See, working on yourself with intention, personal growth, is what is going to attract people to you. Here's a stat. Most of you probably know this, but it's worth saying. Every lead you come across knows at least 16 realtors. My voice cracked when I said that. 16 realtors by first name. How are you going to be the one that's picked? Well, I know what you're saying inside your head. Well, I've got the best customer service. I got this, I got that, right? You're going to, that, my friends, is an ego issue. And that can be your downfall, because there are a lot of people out there. In fact, every realtor I meet says they give the best customer service, right? Everybody says that. I give the best customer service. I care about my clients the most. They're going to use me. That's not true. You got to constantly be working on yourself so that people are drawn to you. Now, this is not a mindset training, so I'm going to get off this right here. But here's what I'll recommend. This book, it's called The Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents. So the guy named Hal Elrod. Who recommends that? People like Jay Kinder, Gene Frederick, people like that. The Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents. It is a systematic, intentional personal growth plan that you can implement every morning. When? In the morning. Why in the morning? I like to do my personal growth at night because you got to have yourself set and ready to go for when you do come across that eventual lead. Here's the thing. I could teach you how to do 100 leads a day coming in. But if you don't have the personal growth, if you're not an attractive enough person, when I'm saying attractive, I'm not talking about the way you look, I'm talking about the embodiment of you, the spirit of you. If you're not an attractive person, if you don't have the energy, the aura that makes somebody want to work with you, who cares? How many leads come in? None of them are going to choose you. They're going to choose one of the other 15 agents they know by first name, and I don't want that to happen to you. Here's some great news. Who wants some great news? Raise your hand if you're on video and you want some great news. If you get your personal growth set right and you're an attractive enough person, you don't need to generate that many leads. In fact, one lead a week that chooses to use you, one lead a week that chooses to use you will get you 50 transactions a year. That's one. Not too tough, right? You don't have to have thousands of leads, but you got to become the person that people want to work with. We are in the marketing business. We don't sell houses. We are in the marketing business where we are marketing ourselves, turning ourselves into a mini celebrity, if you will, in our local area, but somebody that people want to work with, they're drawn to. When they meet us online, on the phone, or in person, they're like, I'm going to work with that person, okay? So what does the Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents do? It teaches this, the SAVERS, SAVERS, like lifesavers. And then we're going to get off this. Stands for silence, affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, and the last S stands for scribing or journaling, okay? There's a whole nother training. I could do a whole nother hour on just that part. We're going to get off it. You've got to work on yourself every morning. So when it is game time, when that lead comes across your desk at 10:30, you have already put yourself in the best position for the day to be so attractive that that person says, I'm not working with anybody else but you, okay? That is the biggest lead generation tool that most real estate agents miss. Becoming the type of person that people are drawn to. High energy, in good shape, you've got a good spiritual life, a good family life, right? People are drawn to that because most human beings are living lives of quiet desperation out there. And they're drawn to people that have their shit together. And that's what we're going to do for you. All right? Great. Now, let's get to some activities. You've gotten up in the morning. You did your miracle morning. You're set. You're ready to go. What can you do? These are going to be tangible things that you can work on, okay? Things on a budget, or what I like to say, my favorite word, free. Anybody else like free? Raise your hand if you like free doing stuff for free, right? Because it doesn't matter how much you make. It matters how much you keep. It's the profit that you do. One thing that I'm big on, Stacey and I built our entire career on, is open houses. If you are trying to get into the market and make more money and grab more market share, you should be in an open house on the weekends. We do them on Saturdays and Sundays. We've been doing this now 26 years. We cut our teeth on open houses and we still do them. Now, I know what a lot of you are saying. Open houses, no one does those anymore. I say great. I say in my market, I hope no other agents do an open house. I hope I'm the only one there that's doing them so that I have the unrepresented buyers and all the sellers in that community where I get the chance to do basically a pre-listing appointment with them. Open houses. And the thing about open houses is this, you have to be able to do an effective open house. If some of you are saying to yourself, yeah, but open houses don't work, you're right. They don't. Effective open houses work, which there is specific formula and specific things you can do to have an effective open house. I've got a YouTube video on that too, ideas. It's all over in our EXP world where you can learn how to do effective open houses so that your time there is well spent and you can walk away. Every open house we do, every single one we do generates business. I've never done one where I don't get some type of business out of it. Now, are there open houses that I do where no one comes through the door? Yeah. But while I'm at the open house, guess what I'm doing? I'm hitting up my sphere of influence, which we're going to talk about here in a second. There's never a downtime while I'm there. Okay, so open houses. Number one, effective. Make sure you write that word down, effective open houses. If you don't know how to do them or open houses aren't working for you, guess what your open house is? You're not doing an effective one. You need to get it and do it right, okay? The second thing I've got written down here that is free to use, but can cost you a ton of money. What did he just say? It's free to use, but it can cost you a ton of money, and that's social media. Here's why it can cost you money. Social media can be very distracting. I can't tell you how many times I go in intentionally to work on my social media and end up watching cat videos on YouTube. I love animal videos and stuff like that. It can be very distracting. So you're going to have to use my favorite word, my power word from John Maxwell for me personally, and that is intentional. Be intentional with what you do. You have to be laser focused on yourself when you go to work on social media. So let's break down the different social medias there are. We could do an hour on each one of these, but I want to give you an idea. And then if you like it, you can go and research to do it. Okay, perfect. I'm getting feedback. That muted me out. I think it was you, Jeff. I was getting feedback. Right. So here's the first thing I want to start with is I'm going in no particular order. I'm going to start with YouTube. Okay. You need to have a YouTube channel. If you have a Gmail, you already have, or a Google account, you have a YouTube channel. You need to have a YouTube channel, and you need to start documenting your day. And with that, you need to start just videoing yourself each day, and then you need to splice it together and create a video showing yourself at work. You need to showcase your area, new businesses that are coming into your area, talking about turning yourself into the local market expert. If you want somebody who's incredible at YouTube, you want to look up a guy named Levi inside EXP. His program does cost some money, but he does give away a bunch of free stuff to get an idea, and you can take a look if you want and pirate his YouTube account and just make the kind of videos he's making, but make it for your area. He's incredible. He's done millions of dollars in commissions just off of YouTube. One of the most important things you can do on YouTube is a market report. You need to have a market report for your local area. You can go on Zoom, open up a free Zoom account. You can go into your MLS. You can pull up your MLS stats. You can put your little face in the corner, kind of like we are here, and you can just talk through the stats. Here's what's going on in our area. I would recommend starting in the greater metropolitan area that you work with, and then narrow it down to areas that you want to be in, different suburbs, different places, different school districts that you want to work in, and create videos for those and do those once a month. Okay. The reason for that is you're going to run across people, and what's the question they always ask when they find out you're a realtor? What do they always ask? How's the market? What's going on, right, in the market? And you've got a professionally done video. It doesn't have to be professional. I got a green t-shirt on, right? But it's your face with the market stats. I promise you, no one in your area is doing this. No one. And this is free. You can literally knock this out at night when you're not with clients. You can create this video and do it. And you can just read through the MLS sheet, what's going on, right? You pull up all the data, put it together in a little CMA report and show what's going on in your area. And you can send that to people. You say, you know what? I got a market report. It tells you what's going on right now. Let me send it to you. This is people in the grocery store line, anything like that. Okay, that's YouTube. Tons of different stuff you can do with it. It's going to position you as the expert when people look you up. Because when they Google you, your Google My Business is going to show up first, your LinkedIn is going to show up second, and then your YouTube is going to show up. And they're going to see all these market videos that you've done. You just created yourself as the expert, and you can be a day one realtor, by the way, and do this. Okay, that's YouTube. Second thing that I'm going in no particular order again is Instagram. People love looking at pictures. They love rolling through Instagram. And you can take, this is incredible, you can take your YouTube video that you created and you can cut it up into shorts, little 1-minute reels, and you can put them on reels, and you can also do shorts, which are, I think, 26 seconds, right? And you can take this data of you talking, this is one video you did for YouTube, and you can cut it up and edit it, and now you have Instagram content, as well as any listings you may have. Now, for some of you that are newer and you don't have listings, I would find a builder. By the way, everything I tell you today, make sure we're all in a bunch of different states. Make sure you check with your state broker and make sure it's legal in your state. In the state of Ohio, if we have permission from the builder, we can advertise the builder's spec homes they have for sale. Each one has different restrictions. Some of the builders say, hey, you can use us, but you can't use our logo, but you can use our pictures that we've taken. Some say, yeah, go ahead and use our logo and everything like that. But that gives you the appearance of having inventory, even if you don't. Okay, you can do those from builders. And by the way, I didn't mention this with the open houses. If you don't have your own listings to do, you can a lot of times hold builder specs open, or, and again, this is state specific, you can hold open other agents' open houses. Like when Stacey and I have been vacationing a bunch in Hawaii and Virgin Islands and stuff like that, we have other agents in the group, hold our open houses open when we're not in town. Okay, I want to go back to that. So that's Instagram covering, okay? The third one is Facebook, of course. Facebook is the 900-pound gorilla in the room as far as generating business, and I'm going to show you the way you're going to do it, okay? With Facebook, you're going to be putting your listings on there and things like that, but you're also going to be talking about your family. You're going to have people get to know you. Here's what you want, according to a guy named Gary Vaynerchuk. If you haven't looked him up, his name's Gary V. Take a look and follow him. I will give you a heads up. He does drop the F-bomb a lot. He's a New York Russian. He's not being vulgar. It's just the kind of the way they talk. So if you're offended by that, I think he has a YouTube channel where it's censored, but it's pretty much bleeping every third word he says. So you don't get to hear it as much. I just tell people that sometimes one lady got mad at me because I sent her to that, and he drops the F-bomb a lot. He does. But he is probably the greatest marketer out there in the world, who came from nothing, from Belarus. A Russian, didn't even speak English, and has become a billionaire, okay, by using the internet and creating. So here's what he talks about. You need to have 3 pillars of you that connects with people. What is it that you have that you do that connects you with people? Here's what I use. I'm a military guy. I use that to connect with people. I love animals. I have these crazy raccoons and stuff like that I connect with people on. My raccoons are more famous than I am in Columbus, believe it or not. And I'm a Buckeyes fan, Ohio State Buckeyes fan, right? Something that almost every person can somehow connect with, right? Because people are going to use somebody that they enjoy. And so you'll see most of my content that I put out there is focused on those 3 things. Either the military, animals, or the Ohio State Buckeyes football teams, okay? So you need to find that for yourself, whatever it is, and start building that. Maybe you're somebody who loves your grandkids. Great. Everybody loves grandkids and loves kids. Go all in on that, okay? You get the idea where I'm talking about that. So that's Facebook. Now, on these platforms, to get distribution with other people, you're going to need to time block time of you, again, this is you working on your business, of you commenting on other people's content. If you're not getting any interactions, it's probably because you're not going through and interacting with other people's stuff. Like if you're posting something like, man, I got nothing. No one even looked at it, right? It's because you're not in other people's feeds, because you're not commenting on their stuff. So what do? You're going to spend a certain amount of time blocked. This is intentional time that you're working on, and you're going to go through and you're comment on other people's stuff. For example, if somebody posts their kids had a birthday, I always put hashtag good parenting. If they post anything about their kids, I put hashtag good parenting. Some of you may have gotten that from me that are on here, right? I do that because they're posting the stuff about their kids because they're looking for validation and affirmation. We're trying to make them feel good is what we're doing. And, hey, it's good. If their kid's on the honor roll, congratulations. You don't know the kid, but you know that it takes good parenting for a kid to get on the honor roll. So you put hashtag good parenting. I also, by the way, always comment on other agents' stuff. Always. Hashtag awesome realtor is what I use. I put that down there, hashtag awesome realtor, right? Everybody else puts congrats or good job or something like that. I always put hashtag awesome realtor. Almost every single one of them send me back at a later date, like something through a private message or something. Hey, thanks so much. I appreciate you, supporting me and things like that. Okay. That will make you pop up in other people's feed by taking a certain amount of time and commenting on their stuff. I would recommend 15 minutes for each one of those. 15 minutes for IG, 15 minutes for Facebook, okay, where you're going through and commenting on people's stuff. Do you know if you get on a roll and just start going through and commenting on people's stuff, you can go through 40, 50 people commenting on their stuff and putting it on there. You're making them feel good, which in turn, when they comment back on you making them feel good, it's going to have your stuff show up in their feed. All right? Now, here's where the danger is with social media. If that's all you do, that's what I call passive lead generation. Passive lead generation. Here's the danger. You have to do it because you got to be on social media. But if you're just doing that and then waiting for the leads to rain in, it's not going to happen. Or you'll get 1 or 2 here or there, but it's not going to drive the type of business that you need. You need to be in active lead generation, talking to people. And here's how you're going to do that. Again, free. You're going to take Facebook Messenger. I learned this from a woman named Krista Mayshore. If you haven't watched her or done her coaching or bought her $49 thing, you don't have to. She gives a lot of the content away for free. And then you can pay for her coaching too, which I recommend. But today's is on a budget. So let's just use her free stuff. Here's what she recommends, and it's genius. Send each day, early in the morning, send a video message to every birthday person that comes in through Facebook Messenger. Now, some of you are thinking, I don't want to be on video. I don't want to do that. Well, then use one of the crazy filters that's on there or something like that. Here's what Krista taught me, because I said, look, I don't like the way I look on video, and I definitely hate the way I sound. I got this giant nose. It makes me sound very nasally. And when it's like all the dogwoods are blooming like they are right now, it's even worse, right? I don't like it. And she said, Jim, she said, let me tell you a little secret. If the people that you're talking to don't like the way you sound or don't like the way you look on video, they're not going to like the way you sound or the way you look in person and use you anyway. So you might as well just get it out of the way on the video and go from there. It just made a lot of sense for me. And here's the thing that's very important. This is what we forget, and this is psychology. Babies, when they're born, recognize, number one, first thing out of the mother's womb, what do they recognize? Mom's voice. Like they know mom's voice because they've been in her belly for 9 months hearing her talk. Sometimes they know dad's voice, but definitely mom's, right? And then what's the second thing that babies are attracted to? Faces. Babies are attracted to faces. It is innate inside human beings for us to be drawn to people's faces. That's why it's so important to look at people in the face and smile. Because when you do, they can't help but smile either, right? They feel good. Babies learn that if they smile and make eye contact with this big, giant human looking down on them, that they'll pick them up, they'll change them, they'll feed them, they'll coddle them. And so babies are super smart. They learn how to manipulate us from day one by doing that stuff. And it still goes on as an adult. It's in our subconscious, right? So the fact you took 15 seconds out of your day, say, hey, Jeff, I see you're having a birthday today, man. I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. I hope you have an absolutely great day. I hope you get everything that you want, and have a great one, brother. Love to catch up with you sometime in the future, man. Have a happy birthday. Boom. Done. You send that as a video through Facebook Messenger. Now, why is that important? Because what do you think Jeff's going to do when I send him that for his birthday? I'll tell you, because I do it. He's going to send back, man, that was so nice. Thank you so much for saying that. And some people I even have say to me, you know what? You're the only person who actually talked to me. My mom didn't even call me. She sent me a text. Happy birthday, right? He gets to see your face and you're smiling and they hear your voice. How do you think the connection is? Here's the danger with social media. We are all more connected than we've ever been, ever. In the history of mankind, we're more connected than we've ever been, but we have the least amount of connection. I hope you notice the difference. We're connected, but there's no connection. So how do we make a connection? Well, it's very simple. I send him a birthday message. If Jeff is interested in having a connection with me, he's going to reach back out to me. He's going to say something to me. Maybe he'll even send me a video back or give me a phone call or something like that, thanking me. If he doesn't, that means he's not somebody that I need to invest a ton of time in, because here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who want to make a connection with me. And when they do, and I've deposited enough into that personal relationship account, I'm going to ask them the question that every realtor needs to have. Once we've sat down, I've had a cup of coffee with them or something like that, we're going to start talking about things like their family, their occupation. What are they doing for fun, their recreation, and their dreams, where they're going to be. FORD, family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Those are the things you use to connect with people. And when you're connecting with them on that level, you will know more about them than 95% of all their friends. And you're the realtor. And from that relationship, what you're going to be able to get is referral business. Referral business. Now, most people only sell every 8 to 10 years, right? So you will, by creating that connection, get their business. But what if it's 8 years from now? You're going to starve by then. Every person on the planet knows 5 people that will do a real estate transaction in the next 6 months. Somewhere in their sphere, they know 5 people. So I connect with Jeff, we talk, and I say, hey, man, if you're interested in catching up, let me buy you a cup of coffee sometime. If Jeff agrees to that cup of coffee, I'm going to that. So many people talk about, like, I'm gonna stand at the car wash and I'm gonna give away free car washes and hand out my business cards. I mean, that's cool if you have an unlimited budget. You're spending $6 per car wash with complete strangers. But why wouldn't I want to go with Jeff, who I have filtered through, and he's created the idea that he wants to have connection, wants to meet up with me? Why wouldn't I invest money in that relationship? Because I can turn Jeff into a super fan. And from that super fan, he's going to know 5 people who do real estate transactions. What's my chance of at least getting one of those from him that year? It's a good chance, right? I guarantee none of the other realtors are doing a connection like that. Okay? So that I call the super fan theory. I also have done a video on that if you want to check that out. But that is active lead generation. We're actively going after, I am talking to people every single day. Now, if you don't have at least 5,000 Facebook friends, this is going to panic some of you. You need to get to 5,000. Now, some of you are going to say, I don't know 5,000 people. The reason you want to get to 5,000, let me tell you the reason first, and I'm going to tell you how you're going to do it, is that once you hit 5,000, you can become a public figure. Once you become Facebook will just convert those 5,000 friends. Stop looking at them as friends. They are people who you would like to do a real estate transaction with. It lets you become a public figure. And when you become a public figure, you can run ads to your list of 5,000 and growing people. Anybody have a light bulb go off right there on that? You can spend pennies to send your real estate stuff and stick it in their feed as a paid feed. These are people that know you, that you're wishing happy birthday with a video, that you're talking to, that you're going through and saying hashtag good parenting on their stuff. Is that clicking with anybody, right? This is a way for you to build a group of people that you know you. So how do you get to 5,000? Well, you go through a list and you look at the recommended people. And here's what I would recommend. If you have 3 to 5 mutual friends, friend them up. Friend them up. It's going to feel weird. I know. It's going to feel cheesy. It's going to feel gross. Just do it. Just get over yourself and do it. Friend them up. Now, don't do more than I think it's 35 to 50 a day on your way to 5,000, because Facebook will block you if you go and do too many, right? They'll tell you, hey, you're friending too many people. But you need to stop looking at Facebook as your friends and start looking at it as people I'd like to do a real estate transaction with, okay? And get to that 5,000 number as soon as you possibly can. 5,000 friends equals 50 transactions a year on Facebook if done properly, without ever having to talk to a cold lead. 5,000 friends is 50 transactions. For everybody pretty much here, 50 transactions should make you around $1,000 or more a day in commissions, if you want to look at it that way, after taxes. Sound pretty good? $1,000 a day, you can live pretty well on that, right? That's after taxes. That's the number. That's the equate. You want to get to 5,000. All right. So let's keep moving on.
Jim, we've got a few questions. About 3 people asked, is it on your business or your personal page, or does
Beautiful. Great question. So I do it on my personal page. I got my personal page to 5,000 and it allowed me to become a public figure. On your business page, you can go and do that too, but Facebook tweaks it a little bit. It's weirder when you're going to follow people and things like that on the business page, because they don't want businesses just going out and spamming people. So it's on your personal. Hopefully that makes sense. Good.
And let me ask real quick, Lisa, yeah. I don't know if you can unmute yourself. She's had her hand up here for a while. Lisa Softly, North Carolina. Do you have a question?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I did that one time earlier when he asked.
Okay.
Good. I like the participation, Lisa. I appreciate it. Well done. I like it. Good.
No worries. Let me ask.
Well, you're kick-ass realtor probably. So, all right. So let's.
Does anybody else have a question while we're here, just real quick?
Don't ask the question.
There's more to go through.
Don't ask the question of how does he talk that fast. I'm from the Midwest. I drove my tractor to work here today, and this is just how we talk here.
My question is Miracle Morning. You said Miracle Morning for real estate, but I downloaded Miracle Morning in Audible. Is it the same book?
It's the same book. The difference being actually a couple EXP agents have a couple chapters in the Miracle Morning for real estate agents. One of them was Jay Kinder. The other one's Michael Reese. If you know those guys, they have like a 9,000 person downline or something like that. They're good guys to know in that. So the book is, I would say, 85% exactly the same as the Miracle Morning, but it is tailored to real estate. It's got some great real estate stories and examples in there. So yeah, you could use the Miracle Morning just fine. To answer your question, Paul?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, cool. Oh, there you are. You're right in the middle of my screen, the Hollywood Squares. You're the center square, Paul. There you go.
You're okay.
All right. Okay, so the next one that you want to do is through texting. Look, I don't know about you. When I call people, it always goes to voicemail. If you're one of those persons that can call people in your phone book and go through and call and you want to leave a voicemail, absolutely do that. If not, send a voice text or a voice video to at least 10 people a day that are in your phone book. It's so simple. It's people that you know. And you can just say something like this. Hey, Jeff or Kathy, I just want to let you know I was thinking about you today. I came across you in my phone book. I know I haven't talked to you in it seems like forever. I just wanted to wish you the greatest day, man. I hope you have an awesome day. I would love to catch up with you sometime. Let me know if you want to connect. Bam. How hard is it to do that? What is the worst thing that comes out of you taking 10 seconds to do that to 10 people? It's 100 seconds. It's a couple minutes, right? What's the worst thing that happens? Well, I can tell you, you made them feel good for the day and they don't reach you back, but you made them feel good. That's the worst, the absolute worst thing that could happen. That's not it. There's no negative in that. Making someone else feel good. How many times do you get think about it. How many times do you have someone leave a voicemail for you or a voice text or a video on your text wishing you a good day and good luck today? Hope you have a great day. It's been a while, right? You can do that for people and they're going to respond. And you go right into the script from there of, hey, if you'd like to connect, let's grab a cup of coffee sometime or a beer or whatever you're into. I always take people to beer and chicken wings, always where I go to Roosters. But I do my best work over the super hot wings. But anyways, all right. That is active lead generation with people you know. Here's the numbers. Here's the numbers. It takes 50 strangers coming in of leads coming in. And I'd say it's probably even closer to 100, but the numbers are, let's just say it's 50 leads coming in to generate one real estate transaction if you do everything right. 50. You can do a real estate transaction in a 5-to-1 on people you know. I got muted out. I'm back on. You can, I'm muted again. Am I muted or unmuted? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. You can hear me?
Yeah, you're on, Jim.
Good. All right, good.
So you muted somebody else there.
All right, no problem. So you can go 50-to-1 on cold leads. That's a lot of smashing your head against the wall, guys. Or you can go 5-to-1 on people you know. Where do you want to invest your time? I'm not saying not to go after cold leads because you're going to have some attrition, right? People that you know and things like that. But you can do more business you could ever dream of just out of the people that you know. It's that simple. And I think we get focused on all these shiny things, right? The new thing that comes in that automates and creates all these cold inbound leads coming into you. I'd rather talk to people that I know, make them feel good, invest in them, find out who wants to connect with me, make a connection, spend my money on them, my $5 for a coffee or whatever. With inflation now, it's probably $10 for a coffee, right? But spend my money and time with them, gain to know them, helping them and their family. And then eventually, once I've deposited enough into the relationship bank account, ask them, hey, by the way, who do you know who might be looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate that you could introduce me to? And you go from there. And it's an easy ask because they're going to ask you eventually once you pour enough into there. All right, let's keep moving through here. And if you see any questions, Jeff, you can stop me. And I am going to take questions and answers here in like 5 minutes. But here's what I would work on also. I would create a list of people who already support you. Hopefully like mom and brother and people like that are at the top of the list. I don't know, sometimes family's the worst. You'll have strangers support you more than family, but create a list of people that will support you. Who do you know that no matter what happens, they're going to refer you out? Like if they're at a cocktail party and they hear on the other side of the cocktail party, somebody's thinking about selling their house, they will run over there and go, hey, I know who you got to meet. Okay. Here's the key for referrals. This is active again. You got to teach the people that are referring you how to do it. Here's what most people do. Hey, I gave so-and-so your number. How many of those people ever call? Very few, right? So what I tell my people is this. Hey, you know what? I would love for you to introduce me to them. Could you do a quick 3-way text or a three-way Facebook message and just introduce us real quick. I'll take it from there and I'll be forever indebted to you. Thank you so much. By the way, if you ever need anything, let me know. You need me to, and I always say something funny. If you need me to walk your dog, if you need me to babysit your kids, you need me to take you to the airport, you let me know. I'm your guy. I go over the top on it, right? Because the humor, making them laugh, makes them remember it. It puts it in their head. Say, hey, I need somebody to watch my kids. I'm gonna make this three-way connection with Jim so that I have a referral. You teach people how to refer you the business, and you don't have to teach your entire sphere. You got to teach those people that have built a connection with you. Here's what I say. If you want to do 50 transactions, you need 50 people on your list that you have a connection with. How hard is that? It's not, because they're doing they know 5 people who do a real estate transaction a year. You need them to refer you one of the 5. What if they have other real estate friends? Fine, refer the other 4, just send me one. Right? And you can do that. Okay, great. Here's the other thing. Every transaction you do should have a baby. I saw Jeff look up when I said, every transaction you do should have a baby. Every real estate deal you do, you should baby and kiss those people's ass so much and thank them so much and work them so much that they create a baby, another deal. They create a baby. That sounds funny, being in real estate. But they refer you business. It's top of mind. They just did the transaction. You need to be all over it to squeeze out of them, who do they know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. Now, maybe you're saying, okay, I live in Nashville and people are just reloading in, right? People are coming in. Well, that's cool. Where did they come from? Because they can refer you business there, because we have 87,000 realtors in EXP, and it's easy to refer business. Referral business is some of the best because somebody else is doing the work and you're getting paid, right? That's the great part about having a global real estate business, is we can get paid anywhere in the country, even though we're working here, okay? So we sell locally, but we build globally is the way that works on that. All right, I'm going to say this and then we'll wrap up. I'll take some questions on it from here. Time management. How can you get all this done? Look, I'm already busy. I'm showing houses. I'm doing contracts. I'm negotiating stuff. I don't have the time. Okay. Anybody else feel that way? Felt that way before, right? Here's what I want you to know. Excuses like that are lies we tell ourselves so that we don't have to get uncomfortable. Oh, that's a punch in the face right there. Excuses are lies we tell ourselves on anything in our life. They're lies we tell ourselves so we don't have to get uncomfortable. Here's what I can tell you. Most of the work you do on your business is going to be in off business hours. When? Maybe you need to get up earlier. Maybe you need to get those videos on Facebook Messenger for people's birthdays knocked out at 5 a.m. Maybe. If you're so busy that you think you're that busy, which you're not, but if you're so busy you can't work on your business at all during the day, then you got to get it knocked out in off hours. You have to work on your business as if it's $1 million listing appointment. There are grind activities, I call them the grind activities, you have to do every single day, or else you're going to be on the entrepreneur roller coaster. Up, down, up, down. I had 6 closings this month. I got 0 next month. Oh, great. That means I had 3 per month, basically, is the way that works, right? When you're busy and when you're on a roll is when you have to step on the gas. Why? Because when you're knocking them out of the park, I wrote 2 offers yesterday, boom, boom, boom. Today I'll take off my lead generation activities. No, that's when you double down and go harder on the lead gen. Why? Because you are magnetic. You are on fire. You just wrote $1.1 million in real estate yesterday, and people are going to feel it. They're going to hear it in your energy, your aura, the way you're going. And so you need to go harder on your lead gen at the time because you're going to be magnetic to people. We call it momentum. There's a guy named Darren Hardy. He has 2 great books that you want to look at. One is called The Compound Effect. Small, smart choices made over a long enough amount of time create massive results. That's the compound effect. These are the grind activities, these boring videos. I'm going to send out videos today, birthday videos. Whoa. But those are the small, smart choices. Do it, repeat it again and again. I'm going to call or text 10 people inside my cell phone book. Ew, I don't want to do that. Doesn't seem like it would do anything. It's repeated long enough over time will generate massive results. His other book's called The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Because here's what happens. Most realtors, you start to get some action. You start doing these things. Oh my gosh, I got showings, I got contracts, I got inspections, I got a closing I got to go to. And you stop doing the things that got you there. It happens all the time. They stop doing the activities because you stop working on your business. Why? Because most agents work on their business during business hours. You're working on it during the day. Well, today I'm doing showings during the time when I normally work on my business. So now I'm going to put off doing those grind activities. Uh-oh, that's a problem. You need to time block out for yourself the time you're going to do it and never miss it. When? When can you miss it? Never. You knock them out and you get them done again and again and again, and they will yield massive results. Why is it that they work? Why is it that the birthday videos work? Why is it that the open houses work? Why is it sending a friendly text, voice text, or better, a video text to people in your phone book? Why is it that it works? Because no one's doing it. No one's doing it. When's the last time you got a message like that from somebody? Just somebody say, hey, I was just thinking about you. Hope you have a great day. Hope things are going awesome for you and the family. Saw some stuff on Facebook. Looks cool. Have an awesome one. When have you gotten that? Are you going to be mad that you got that message? You're going to feel good. People don't care what we know. They care about how we make them feel. And that's the business that we're in. And that's what we want to create. And all of this stuff is free. So you've got to time block it out. When am I going to do it? I like to do it right after the miracle morning. Why? Because my brain is fresh. My blood is pumping. I just went through a session of gratitude. I had some meditation period. I said my affirmations to myself. Now I'm on point. My messages, the words coming out of my mouth are magnetic. I just read something really great in a business book that I just read, or I read something from John Maxwell, which is very leadership oriented. People can feel that and they know it and they're drawn to you. And I mentioned it earlier, but most people are living lives of quiet desperation out there, and they're drawn to people that are the shining light in the world. I want what that person has. Even if they don't say it out loud, they think it subconsciously and they don't even know it. And they're drawn to you. And that in turn requires you to generate less leads. Now, what happens if you get after this and you start going after, you start generating too many leads? Here's what's going to happen for you. You're going to generate freedom through leverage and scalability. This is called the Freedom Team, right? Freedom. We do real estate so we can make money to buy back our time. Money is not the most important part. It's our time. So how do you do that? Well, you're going to attract other agents to your group, whether you're building a team or just building a downline, and you're going to have excess leads to be able to share out. You share out those leads if people are in your downline. Just say, you put it out to your team. Hey, I've got so-and-so needs to see a house on 123 Main Street, and I'm looking for a 30% referral fee. Who wants it? And somebody jumps on and takes it, right? Or if you're building a team, you can attract them in and build a team, right? Whoever has the leads makes all the money, and you're generating warm inbound leads off people that you know and doing nothing more than making them feel good in their life. You notice everything I said today that we were doing, all of it was just making other people feel good. And what's wrong with that? We can change the world by doing things like that. Who's got a question? Somebody said, what are they saying here?
Well, it'll come at no surprise, but I mean, this is kind of putting out there for everybody. I've been talking to these people with Park Bench, and Park Bench, basically they create a website, and then you go out to businesses, you introduce yourself, you interview them, then you post them, and then they create newsletters and everything else. I'm just wondering, has anybody heard of them? And because it's very expensive, they want like $600. So yeah, I'm not really in wanting to spend that kind of money, but I just wanted to see if anybody's heard of them.
Here's what I'll tell you, Paul, is there are thousands of ways to generate leads that are paid. Thousands, right? And so that's a whole nother training we could do on all the different gadgets and websites and stuff out there. I haven't heard of them, but I promise you this, if you got in there and worked it, it would probably work. If you got that kind of jack to spread, you know, a lot of this stuff on here that I'm teaching today, Stacey and I stopped doing years ago because we've sold 1,700 homes in our career. And a lot of our business comes from repeat and referral business, right? That we do on that. But for people that don't have that kind of jack to put out there, that's what this one was for on it and things like that. But I haven't heard of it. I don't know. Has anybody else heard of Parkbench? You can do everything Parkbench provides on your own. There you go. Kaylin says that you can do it yourself.
I just saw that. Yep.
Here's the great news though. Paul brings up a great point. If you do this stuff hard enough and strong enough and long enough, you will get to the point where you have enough money now to get your freedom back and start paying someone else to do the grind work. Can they do your videos, your birthday videos, stuff like that? No, that's got to kind of be you. But a lot of the stuff you don't need to do anymore. Maybe you don't need to do open houses anymore, right? You got people on your team holding your houses open and things like that, and you're out traveling. And that'll happen for you, and it can happen really quick if you get really good at bringing the leads in, generating the leads. So that was a great one. Great one on that, Paul.
Okay. Kaylin, you have your hand raised. Do you have a question, Kaylin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. So I am curious about what your strategies are for farming neighborhoods. I have a friend who just a couple days ago, she's friends with her next door neighbors and they just listed with someone else and she was like devastated and like, what did I do wrong? And anyway, so it just got me thinking because I've been farming my neighborhood for a couple years now and I have actually had a couple deals out of it. But I want to get better. I want to like dominate my neighborhood.
So there are, again, tons of paid ways that you can farm the neighborhood, right? From direct mail to sponsoring neighborhood parties, right? But since this training isn't about spending money, this is about doing it for free. There's the old school way of door knocking. Do I do it myself? No. I don't like strangers coming up to my door. Our German Shepherd who's behind me back here would eat them if they did. And I think people have gotten to a point where a lot of people they don't like it, but it's done. There are agents who are doing it. In fact, Darren Hardy, the guy I talked to you about, he built his entire career on going up and knocking on people's doors. So that's a way you can do it. Personally, I think I would do it through Facebook neighborhood app. I think it's called, I'm going blank on it. I think it's called
Next door neighbor.
There it
Next
is.
door neighbor.
Called Next Door.
Yes. And you can get in there and you can provide value. You can comment on people's stuff in your neighborhood, and you can be a resource to them for some things like this.
Well, Kaylin, and what
Hi,
I'll
Jim.
say is, I mean, anytime I don't get a listing, I don't know if she competed for it or not, but it's her next door neighbor, I would ask them, hey, I live in the neighborhood, right? We're friends, maybe they're not friends, but I mean, I always ask, what could I have done differently? What should I have done differently? So if she hasn't done that, I'd encourage that, but
It's the exact example I'm giving you. People know 16 realtors.
Yep.
Their pastor's wife's uncle is a realtor, right? Their Pizza Hut delivery driver is a realtor, right? There's a lot of us out there, and our own egos, unfortunately, our own limited view is that we're the only one, and we're not, right? And it's a lot of times it comes down to the connection. Who built the best connection? Who was top of mind awareness? And here's the thing. You don't have to have the connection and top of mind awareness with 1,000 people. You need a handful of people that know you well enough that they've broke bread with you. For me, I think if I've had a coffee with you or a beer or something like that, and we're on that level, I feel like we've built a connection. If it's just somebody you've only talked to through a screen, there's a good chance you're not going to get that deal, in my opinion, on that.
We've
Great
got 1
question.
minute, and Jacob has a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, a comment and a question. Comment, you just recommend everybody. Back in 2017, I just got my real estate license about 4 months ago. But someone said to me, hey, start a real estate group. This is the true story, okay? So I have all these Facebook groups for business, and I just started this real estate group. I'm not kidding. Never did an event. I was disciplined about only allowing people to put real estate related things in it. I now have 1,400 realtors in it. Now I'm doing events with my partner up here, Ron Freeman, and guess who's coming? Those 1,400 people, a group of them, probably about 5 or 6% show up to the event. So I don't know, guys, just start these groups, and it's unbelievable how well they work, and then follow everything Jim just said. But then I got a question, Jim.
Yeah, go ahead.
My question is transition statements. You're doing these meetings with people, and they're very, friendly. Do you have any recommended transition statements to get over to the subject that we're all interested in trying to Gotta get them to talk about real estate, right?
That is an absolute great question. You know where it comes, Jacob? It's when they ask you, hey, tell me about what's going on with your business. That's when the opening is. People can sense if you're trying to get them to a spot. Everybody's been in a sales presentation. You can feel when the salesperson's trying to maneuver you over, right? So it's all about them. 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? We should listen more than we talk. That is a hard one for me. My wife's always like, we're out trying to get me to stop talking. Ask them the questions, FORD. When you're connecting with them over that cup of coffee, they agree to meet with the coffee. That is a golden appointment. Family, tell me about your family. What's going on? You want to know everything that's going on in their family. Why? Because it's data gathering also. Oh, we just had twins. Ooh, they're going to need a house, right? Or a bigger house, something like that. Okay. Occupation. Oh, what's going on with your job? What do you do for a living? Oh, you're an electrical engineer. Well, what kind? What do you do? People spend so much time at work. It's a big part of their identity. Spend a ton of time talking about their work. What do they do for a living? Okay. Be very interested and be interested in the people. Take notes. Why not? I'm old. I forget stuff. I'm pushing 60 years old. I don't remember stuff like I used to. Take notes. Hey, do you mind if I write this stuff down? I like to keep track of everything, right? What's their dog's name? People, right? They love their pets, okay? R stands for recreation. Hey, I see stuff you're doing on Facebook and stuff like that. It looks like you're out there skiing in Colorado. Tell me about it. What's your favorite spot? Where do you like to go? And find out what they do for fun. And then the last one is dreams. Like, what are you guys' plan the next 5-10 years? Where are you going? What are you going to do? What's happening? The kids are teenagers now in high school. What's next for you and the missus? And let them talk. That's more data gathering, right? Well, the kids are going to go to college and we're going to need to downsize. Anybody's realtor spidey sense just go off? Ding, 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 right? When they say stuff like that. And keeping all of that content. Oh, kids graduate in 3 years. They're going to need to downsize. That goes in your calendar, right? It also, of course, we have KV Core. You want to take all this data that you collect from them on that connection, you put it into KV Core so you don't have to remember it. And it goes in there. So eventually, it was Jacob that asked that question, I think, right? Eventually, they're going to ask you about you, right? If you remember back in the days when you were dating, or some of you are dating right now, all of a sudden you realize, oh crap, I'm the only one that's been doing all the talking. I need to ask them, and they're going to ask you something about yours. And typically the question is going to be like this. So what is going on in the real estate market? Funny you should ask. I've got this really great market report that's going on, but actually I've got a couple openings for some extra clients. You don't happen to know anybody who'd be looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the next 6 months, do you? They're going to say no, because it's the first time they've ever been asked that question. And you say, hey, you know what, Jacob, would you do me a huge favor? Would you just kind of keep your eyes and ears open? Because here's the stats. The National Association of Realtors says every person knows at least 5 people that will do a real estate transaction in the next 6 months. Every person. That probably includes you. Just kind of keep your eyes and ears open, maybe at your kid's school or at your church or at work. And if you hear somebody just talking about real estate, could you introduce them to me? Don't say referral. Don't say refer them to me. Say, would you introduce them to me? We were all taught when we were kids, right? Your mom taught you, or your dad taught you. If you have 2 friends and they're strangers, what are you supposed to do? You introduce them, right? Would you introduce them to me on a 3-way text or on a 3-way Facebook message? I would forever be in debt to you. I'm telling you, look, if you ever need your car washed, you need me to take you to the airport, you need me to babysit your kids, walk your dog, you let me know, I'm your guy. And bring the humor into it, right? And that's the transition, because they transitioned it to that.
Awesome. Thank you.
You like that?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim, a couple of quick comments. So this just on Saturday or Sunday, my wife and I, we were helping some friends of ours just moved back here. And we met them over there, helping them unload their truck and stuff. And there were, 7 or 8 people there. And there was this one couple there. And, of course, I didn't know anybody else. It was their friends, whatever. And I get talking to this one guy, Cody, whatever. And, so Cody, what do you do? Whatever. Oh, I do sales. I'm with a software company, blah, 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 And the natural response is, what do you do? Oh, I'm a realtor. And his first question, oh, wow, how's the market? Been reading about this market. it opens a door for me. And I learned this on here several months back. Well, here, let me get, what's your number? Let me send you a text. Let me get you in my system. I do a monthly market update every month. I'll send it to you. Just keep you up on what's going on with things. Oh, that'd be great. He's now in my system and I'm going to start dripping on him. I just met him on Sunday, but that's almost the natural response. I ask them what they do. They turn right around and ask me what I do. And it opens that door for me to get them into my system to do a monthly market update, about a 2-minute video, 3-minute video that I'll send out to all of our database. And I'm going to put him in there. Quick little simple thing that doesn't cost me a dime, and that can happen anywhere. That can happen in line at the grocery store, at Starbucks, the table next to you, at a restaurant. I mean, all kinds of stuff. You'll hear people start talking to people, So just something to throw out there because it falls right in line with what you were just talking about. The other thing I want to mention, we talk on here a lot about video messages because I'm big on that. It just sets you apart. Here's a buyer, a lead that comes in, and they're on 5 realtors' websites. Every realtor's trying to call them. They're getting automatic texts that are coming back, all this kind of stuff. And you send a video message and you just set yourself apart from everybody else out there because nobody's doing it. And personalize it.
It's the face and audio. You just went right into their amygdala, their subconscious.
Yeah.
And you just satisfied every human craving they have. And that is hearing you, seeing you, and also affirming that they exist as a human being. And you made them feel good. They're going to remember how you made them feel versus what you know, right? We want to think I'm the most knowledgeable realtor. They don't give a shit. They care about how you make them feel. And then once they choose you, they'll worry about how you know. And I'll 10x what Jeff said on this because it's really great as far as somebody, complete stranger, asking you what's going on. If you're not using 360 Home, EXP 360 Home app, you can get a little QR code that comes with that. That gives them the ability to download your app right there on the spot. And they can, here's the words I use. Would you like to spy on your neighborhood and know what's going on in your neighborhood before anybody else knows and have it all automated and also keep track of your own house value and stuff like that with what's going on? I got this secret app you can use. It's free to you. And I'm connected to it on also. But you can use that and do it. And they'll download it and they'll go in there. And now they're watching their neighborhood. And you see everything that they're doing. It's Big Brother's just hell, but it's awesome, I guess, for making money. But
it works great.
If you're not using that, EXP 360 Home, definitely it's available to you. It's all free, and use that and definitely do your market reports because you're going to rank high on Google. The more YouTube videos you do, and it's just simple to do. You can literally knock it out when you're not too busy showing houses or anything like that. You can knock it out after hours. And just create the video, your little thumbnail in the corner. That's great questions on that.
Very, very simple stuff. Go ahead, Paul.
Where do you get 360 Home at?
It's inside. So go to your, I don't know if I can share screen or not. Can I share screen?
Here, I can allow it.
That's all right. So it's a great question on here. So, whoops. Hang on. Don't have a heart attack with how many windows I have open. My wife's like, she always freaks out over this.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking.
Can you guys see this?
There's a few logos here,
So StaceyLambright.exprealty.com. Can everybody see that or no?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So inside that, on here, built into it, there's a thing called resources. See that over here?
Yeah.
All right, you go to your resources, and then you'll scroll down, download our app. See that QR code?
Yeah.
That's it. Go ahead and download it for yourself and try it out or on a loved one or a family member and check it out. And then you'll have that. That's the app right there.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you can also text it to people if you want. You can enter their cell phone number and text it over to them if they don't have the little QR code scanner. Hopefully that makes sense.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great question.
It's a great app. And
awesome.
is that, I don't know if that's available on everybody's KV Core. You might have to add that. I'm not sure if it has to be customized to be added, but whatever. We'll help you with that if you need it. So
all right,
just let us know. One last thing real quick, that video message thing, because I'm in another group that I get on once a week, and there was a lady, she sent out a birthday message, a happy birthday video message. She got a $1.3 million listing straight from that message. Just hit them at the right time. They're looking to sell. Wow, that was great. Same kind of thing. You're the only one that sent me a video. Hey, real quick, I know you do real estate, but blah, 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 whatever. And that's what it led to. You never know what that can do. Okay?
I started going through the A's and I left a voicemail for the Agamites, and they gave us a listing out of the blue and said, "Oh, funny, you should call." They go, do you remember us? You coached our kid in soccer 17 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't even know who they were. I'm like, well, they're in my phone for a reason. They didn't come pre-programmed that way. And they go, we're getting ready to sell our house and we need to buy another one. It was 1.3 million in real estate. Just same thing. Yep.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Jim, thank you very much. We need to get off here. We're running long, but guys, I appreciate everybody being on here. Real quick reminder, tomorrow, same time, same Zoom link. There is an Eventbrite link that you can invite your friends to. It's open to everybody. But part 2 of Aaron Ken's listing process. It's going to be awesome. More on getting leads, okay? Digital marketing, stuff that he's doing with his system to really crank it up. So it's going to be same time tomorrow. Part 2, the ultimate listing process.
90 to 120 days. Don't forget that. Don't
Yeah.
do it for 30 days and let up off the gas. 90
Keep
to
going.
120 days before you'll see results. That's the rule. You're not going to see anything, but if you go that long, I trust you have more business than you can absolutely handle. Go get them, guys. Good luck to everybody.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you,
This
Jim.
recording will be on the Workplace Group and the Freedom Team YouTube page within the next hour and a half. So you can get it there if you want to watch it again. Jim, thank you. Guys, have a great day.
So you guys,
See you
thanks for
tomorrow.
having me on. See ya.
Bye, y'all. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Jim.